Hello there, everybody. Thanks, as always, for tuning in to another real-time edit. Today I have something a little different. Here's a kingfisher I shot back in, gosh, when did I shoot this? February. Um, and so this one I did have my teleconverter in. I can tell from the crazy vignette there. I shot some wider with 500, and the bird stayed there long enough. He was just hanging out on this perch for a while. So I was able to chuck in the teleconverter and shoot one a little bit tighter, which, this is still scenic for most. Most people's tighter would be like cropped in here, but I don't really like to shoot that way most of the time. So I'm going to leave the crop as is. I kind of really dig this composition. Just going to go a little bit lighter. What I want to do is go somewhere in between silhouette and detail. So I think somewhere in there is going to work. I'm going to ditch these vignettes from the teleconverter in Photoshop, but I also want to accentuate these colors here. So that color stack in the background. So I'm going to warm that section there and then cool off these clouds over top so I get a little bit more color contrast. And then this section down here also was a little bit warmer, but I also want to take those shadows down. I don't want that to be quite as bright as it was. There we go. That seems like a good starting point. The thing I'm unsure of right now is if I want to see the eye of the bird or not, like the head and the eye. Right now I have it so you can't see the eye, but I'm gonna come back into Photoshop into Lightroom after this opens in Photoshop and do another, just kind of lighten it and really push those shadows so I can just start to see, check that out. I can start to see the eye and everything in there. And then I'll open that version in Photoshop and layer it in. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not, but, it's one of those let me experiment and try things. So I stack the layers, mask the one out, and then I'll come in here and just kind of softly start adding just a little bit more detail there. And mainly, I really want like the top of the eye, that little eyelash there, that little white spot, I should say, is kind of cool. And then let me just let the white of the breast of the bird show a little bit more, but I don't want it the whole thing to show, so I want it to fade. So then I'll come back in with some black with a larger brush and just kind of fade that back. So yeah, I think that kind of works. And then I do want to actually I just want an indication of this eye, so I'm gonna accentuate that catch light a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can go just a touch more overall on the head here. So just a little bit lighter on that head area. There we go. Pretty moody. And then maybe I can just do a soft fade in this background here and just let a little bit more of that come through. A little bit more of the texture of this branch. There we go. I don't like this broken spot right there. I actually set this perch up out here, as you can see. So I should have cleaned some of this stuff up when I set it up, but I was already just wading out into the marsh, into this nastiness. So I had enough on my hands without trying to clean up the perch and preventing myself from sinking deep down into the muck. So I figured I could just clone out these things in post. I knew it wouldn't be that big a deal. And there you go. It really wasn't. But, I guess I should have put more effort in up front. Oh yeah, I got to clone out these vignettes up here. That teleconverter does not do well. I almost never use the thing, but since I had a stationary and patient bird, a cooperative bird, figure I might as well do it. And I just want to kind of really make that blue. I'm going for color contrast here, so I just really want to make that blue stand out up there compared to the orange. And I think that's going to about do it. So look at that, from that to that, right? Subtle, but especially when I dig in here, like I'll zoom in a lot for you here. See that? Right, just really makes the head stand out. And then I don't know what this is right there, but we'll get rid of it. One last thing, there's just a darker spot right in there just overall, I mean, it's real subtle. I'm just going to do some real light painting on this. See, I keep actually being too much. There we go. Look, see how subtle that masking is? But it just kind of evens out that weird dark spot there. All right, that does it. So I could have processed this and really pushed the brightness up on this so you could really see the detail on that. But I don't know. For me, I just kind of wanted to go in this direction where it's just kind of that super dark, moody, pre-sunrise kind of light because, well, that's exactly how it was. So let's reset that. Yeah, so, I also probably underexposed that whole set a little bit. I definitely could have started with a little bit of a lighter exposure there, but I don't even know. Let's see what the settings were at. It was probably a low ISO. Yeah, 250 ISO. So it really was no issue for me to bring back the detail. But that's a much cleaner edit. The colors are popping a little bit more detail on the bird and the branch. Better branch separation from the background as well. And I really like how this one came out. So there's the final. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.